I did an angry video this morning, and it's probably because my sleep has been so fitful. And so I journeyed this morning. What's coming today spiritually is incredibly intense. This is the Luciferians' big hurrah, you know? NASA shooting those missiles at the eclipse. Them sacrificing the red heifers for the new temple in Jerusalem. Them turning on CERN. At a time when the devil's comet is flying over, this has been their big hurrah. But they're doing it without the fallen. And the fact that this group thought they could beat heaven is beyond delusional. It's ludicrous. I write about in Confessions of an Antichrist that after what happened with my 40th birthday, I ended up seeking out the fallen. I was never afraid of demons. And the reason why is because I was trained to look at them as my brothers. And as my brothers, I could not understand for the life of me why they were letting this group treat them like performing monkeys. First of all, their sacrifices were meaningless. Most of them, most of the time, didn't have a clue who was on the altar, let alone have a personal connection to who was there. There was no sacrifice there. And they did what made them feel powerful. And so the awful stuff that they did, most of them thought it was cool and got off on it. And so there was no sacrifice there. And yet this group has spent the entire time doing whatever the fuck they want and never paying a day's price. But because of my training and because I sought the fallen out after my 40th birthday. You can go read about it in Confessions of an Antichrist. It's all in there. And when I went to them, I gave them the same offer each time. Go to war with heaven or be embraced back into heaven. Because these Luciferians, they're doing all this shit with their rockets and the sacrifice at the red heifers and the CERN toy and all of that. What they didn't realize is that from the very beginning they've been lied to. The angels knew they couldn't beat heaven. The fact that you actually believe you can is just, it leaves me without words. What the fallen wanted to do was piss heaven off so bad that heaven blanked them out of existence. Because their separation from heaven and the fact that they were stuck with us, and more importantly, all of you fucking Luciferian assholes, all they wanted heaven to do was take them out of their misery and blank them out. However, energy can be neither created nor destroyed. And that is a spiritual principle. That's how it is on the other side. So there was no blanking them out. So when I went to them and sought them out, each one of them, individually, I gave them the same, I offered them the same thing. Go to war with heaven or be embraced back into heaven. And obviously, not realizing that they could be brought back, everyone jumped, except a small core group, which heaven took care of. When the fallen angels had a problem, it was all over man having women. There are no female angels. And the problem with at the very beginning is that contrary to what you've all been told, as above, so below. Every one of us has a mother. In this realm and on the other side. And they say that there is no greater wrath than that of a woman scorned. Well, Father made this garden for Mother, which we destroyed. So that's what we're facing. And they have to know it because Kali, their little CERN toy, is female. Moloch is... They have been told the truth, but in a way they didn't understand. This is their end game. It's all coming to a head now. And then heaven gets to respond. The ball goes into heaven's court. Mankind is about to be tested. The faithful are about to be tested. And many of you who think you're faithful now are going to end up turning from heaven because things are going to be so bad. But at the very beginning, the angels got mad because man was given woman, and they don't have any women. That's why they came here. So everything we know from the moment we left the garden has been given to us by the fallen. And the reason why I believe this is because the stories of Jesus Christ aren't original. There's another thing that goes right along with it that's earlier. That's why I think this thing is important. I think that they're getting ready to open a portal, and Mother's dark, which is what it is, the most powerful energy is in the dark feminine. That's where life is created. And that's what they're going to bring forth. There are no angels to help them. Most of them were embraced back into heaven. A core group of them were put in the dark. They are living an eternity as men and suffering the consequences of their own behaviors. That's what this dark is going to be. It's going to be a test. Mankind ate and wanted evil, and we want evil. We don't admit it, but we have serial killer playing cards. And I bet if I asked each one of you, you could probably list 5 or 10 serial killers right off the bat. Name one of their victims. Just one of any of them. I bet you can't. But you're not at all enmeshed in evil. We are about to see God's wrath. And God's wrath is what happens at the crescendo of what happens when you embrace evil. They're going to succeed in bringing the other side of the looking glass over here. They're going to succeed in bringing the darkness. They just don't have a clue what's in that darkness. Because I've spent decades casting into it, I have a good idea. And I can assure everybody, you ain't gonna like it. Which is why my sleep was so fitful last night. Because I am so not looking forward to the days ahead. Anybody who has an ounce of humanity isn't looking forward to what's coming. We're all going to be tested. Stay strong. Fill your hearts with love, no matter what, or be claimed by the dark. Your choice. As always, free will.